Hello, this is my audio commentary for Empire Total War. This time it's a naval engagement, and I'm playing as Britain. I have 3 heavy frigates and 1 Admiral's First Rate in this late period game with early funds. My opponent is playing as France, and let's take a look at what he's got. He's got the rocket ship, a 6th rate, another 6th rate, a steamship, an Admiral's First Rate, a 2nd rate, and 2 3rd rates. So that's basically the default army for France. Alright, and this is my opponent. This is his admiral here, so I'll be facing this guy's tactics. Anyway, with this video I have tried out a new technique. Rather than having a fluid video, I have cut out all the more boring parts, and I've only left in the more interesting parts, such as interesting angle shots, such as this one, and broadsides. I've done this for 2 reasons, mainly because firstly, the naval battles are far too long. They always go for 20-30 minutes, and I can't put that onto YouTube. And secondly, a lot of naval battles involve a lot of maneuvering, and really what you want to watch on YouTube is broadsides, really. So I thought I'd cut it down, but I haven't cut out anything important. I haven't biased the videos, so you will see participation from both armies. So it's not edited in a way, it's just cutting out the more boring parts. Anyway, my opponent sends out the French vanguard of a 6th rate. This is a frigate, not a ship of the line, so it won't stand up to my broadsides much longer. As you can see, it's already routing now, after just 3 or 4 broadsides, and I'm also crossing the T. I've also turned my ships around, as you can see, to use the wind to my favor. Alright, so I've got one of his 6th rates surrendered now, which is a wise choice by the sailors, because I guess it's not a dishonorable surrender. They lost quite a lot of guys and most of their guns. Alright, so he's sending his 2nd 6th rate now, and it's meeting the same fate really. I'm just turning around my ships of the line every time a broadside is ready. On the top of the video you can see the other 6th rate surrendered. That's the ship with the white flashing sign. Anyway, this ship is also getting destroyed. You can see it's already lost half of its guns, and it hasn't even fired a volley yet, and it's also burning now, which is never a good thing. It's about to receive another broadside from another ship in front of it. There we go. And another from that ship. And you can see it being trashed there on the right. And so it's surrendered now as well. So that's his two 6th rates gone now. But that's just a preliminary skirmish. He's yet to use his main ships, and now he does. So I'm starting to use chain shot first to try to knock out his sails. I'm also crossing his T. You can see here why this tactic was so popular and effective. It allows you to fire full broadside against the enemy ship without being fired at. I think it was first developed by the Portuguese in the 1500s, around the early 1500s. But the first use in European naval warfare was in the 1600s by the Dutch, and then soon adopted by the British. Anyway, I've managed to immobilize one of his 2nd rates, and I'm trying to do the same with his other ship now. You can see that my ships are very slow now because they're going against the wind, but it's not too bad because they're in a strong position, but you don't want to go against the wind when you're advancing. On my left you can see a steamship coming up, so I turn around my ship to face it. Although steamships were very innovative and it had a lot of advantages, most admirals were reluctant to use them because they were really dirty, really noisy, and most admirals prided themselves with clean and sleek and beautiful ships, and steamships were anything but that. So these ships weren't actually very popular. So although they were developed in the 1750s, 1730s, they only reached their golden age in the 1800s during the War of 1812 and the American Civil War, which eliminated the age of sail really. Anyway, on the far left flank of the French, he's sending an admiral. And going back to the center, you can see I've immobilized his ships now, so I can rake his stern with broadsides, which does a lot of damage. In theory, one cannonball in real life could rake the entire deck, killing multiple gun crews, taking out lots of guns. So it was highly desired to broadside someone's stern. Some good round shot now at the stern. This ship can't do very much because it can't move now, so all it can do is pray that I go around its broadside. But it's surrendered now, which again is probably a wise decision. You can see here through all the holes, the gun crews and the guns and the sailors in all three decks. A bit like those cross-sectional books where you can see through the inner parts of machines and ships and cars. Alright, that's his steamship surrendering now as well. And I've moved one of my ships to his rear to engage his last remaining ship. Anyway, I thought you'd like to see the gun crews reloading. It's a very good animation. So I'll just leave the camera here and you can check them out reloading on the left of the ship, and you can also see the sailors and marines. So that's one reloading cycle. It's pretty fast. I'm not sure how fast it was in real life, but I believe it was roughly maybe a minute for a broadside cycle. I'm not quite sure though, but it's probably around a minute to 2 minutes. Back to the center, his admiral's ship is on fire and is routing as well, and you can see his other ships, the flashing white ships, they've also surrendered. Anyway, I've decided to try to board the ship, mainly because it looks a lot better than just blasting the ships to bits. So my sailors have managed to rope the enemy ship, and they're now pulling it towards their own ship to allow the marines to board. However, sadly the French, they lack courage and they surrendered their ship instead of fighting like real men. So that's good game to my opponent, who is Darth, I think it's Darth Q. I don't remember his name fully, it was a few days ago. Anyway, I had 4 ships and I lost none, and he had 8 ships and lost 7. Let's take a look at my unit statistics. My ship Kent did very well with 5 losses and 118 kills.